Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. In the last episode, we went and attacked on Kanbalar in order to reclaim the city from the clutches of Gilland and his band of evildoers. And we managed to reclaim the capital of Kanbalar, as well as hijack an airship. In today's episode, we are going to be going into the main hallway of the Azul capital here, and watching cutscenes and such. Each cutscene is different, varying on what story is. I'm going to be showing off both, but here's the first one.
I wonder what those two are talking about.
You wish to speak with me?
You told me earlier you have a booster implanted in your body. Why would you do such a thing?
Why? If you have to ask, then you'd never understand.
But you're still just a young man. How could you throw away your life?
The answer is simple. I await my opportunity to kill the king.
What? That is your reason?
Gaius is worthy of the throne. That is undeniable. So I was left with only two options: resist or submit.
You are a strong young man.
No, you're just a weak old one.
I have given a lot of thought to what you said earlier. It would seem that Gaius is capable of leading his people down the correct path.
Are you saying you'll support him?
Gaius may be Rashagal's only hope now that it has lost its king. I shall summon Rashagal's finest warriors here before the battle with Exodus. With your permission, of course.
A wise decision.
So, I hear the pimple wants to be a nurse. I bet it's 'cause of that boy.
So what of it?
Don't play innocent with me. It's obvious that Jude gets you all hot and bothered.
What? That's ridiculous.
But you know, I have to admit my opinion of you has improved.
Huh? Really?
If you think with your heart instead of your brain, you'll end up killing some patient on accident. It'll be hilarious. You don't even care if your efforts end up killing people.
That won't happen.
Oh, that's right. That boy's got the hots for Maxwell, the older woman. That means no loving for you.
Huh?
Huh? Who's there? Lame.
And that was the first set of cutscenes that I activate. You can kind of see a bunch of character development as such. We're going to the second set, and it's over here with Elise.
Are the others around?
It's just us.
You still trying to figure out why Zhao saved you?
Yes. Mila and Rowan weren't any help.
They were like, dead guys tell no tales.
That's not true. They didn't say it like that.
Tipo's got a point, though. When someone passes away, his secrets die with him.
But I remember something my parents told me once. They said that people who die are reborn as spirits.
If that's the case, maybe the dead are always with us, even now. We just can't see them. And that means we have to protect them.
I see. You're right.
Hey, good looking. Come here often.
Think you can charm your way back into my life? You make me puke.
Cut me some slack, will ya? After all, we finally get to fight side by side again.
I'd sooner kill you.
Easy there. Come on. It'll be just like old times.
You expect me to forget how many of us died because of you?
That's ancient history.
I was captured too, you know. Do you have any idea what I went through? I thought I'd found my place in the world by your side. Don't expect me to forgive and forget. Being tossed away once was enough.
Pressa, I request your presence. I need your opinion on how to integrate the Rashagal soldiers into our own.
Sure, I'll be right there.
See? Your new friends need you. You found your place after all.
I actually kind of like this little scene, little batch of scenes here. They kind of show you character development between, you know, not only Rowan, Lise, Leia, Mila, and Alvin, and we can kind of see it a little bit with Jude too. But simply, all you have to do is you have to come up here to the front entrance and talk to Mila or Jude, depending on which story you are.
Why are you standing out in the cold?
Huh?
What's wrong?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? Maybe you should sit down and rest for a bit.
Yes, maybe this is simply fatigue. I'll take up your offer.
Hmm? Feeling any better?
Not really, but don't worry about it. Maybe if we just chat for a while, this will pass.
Okay, sure. So, what's the outside world like?
Olympias. What do you wish to know?
Well, stuff like the climate, how the people are, things like that.
I don't really know.
Huh.
Is that strange?
No, I just figured you'd know something. But it sounds like it's been some time since you've seen it.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of memory. I simply just don't know.
Oh, don't worry about it. I was just curious, that's all.
All I know is that Spyrex use is rampant on Olympias.
Why would the people there rely on Spyrex instead of just using their mana lobes?
Using Spyrex is easier. No doubt the temptation was just too strong for them. I have a question for you too, actually.
What is it?
Do you, how do I put this?
You sure everything is okay? You're acting weird today.
The ship is ready for departure. Please return to the castle.
I guess we should head back. Ah!
Muse, don't scare Jude like that.
Mila, may I speak with you in private for a moment?
You two can catch up. I'll just wait back at the castle.
What did you want to talk about?
You must never forget that the safety of the schism depends on your survival.
I understand. Wait, is that it?
Yes. I thought it best to remind you on the eve of a dangerous battle. Heed my words, and nothing will go wrong. Anyway, shall we go?
Wait.
You wish to ask me something?
Lately, I often feel like my actions are fraught with contradiction. This has never happened before. Do you know the reason why?
Do you mean you feel you're putting people in danger when it's your duty to protect them? You're imagining things. Elder sister knows best. Now let us go.
This isn't just my imagination. How did I always ignore these things? It's clear that Maxwell's mission and my own actions contradict each other. If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Howe's egg principle. In that case, who am I?
Mila, what are you doing? Aren't we heading to the castle?
Yes.
And that's another thing, that Mila's just fraught with contradiction on who she really is, because she's starting to develop doubt on everything she's been doing. And it's really kind of strange that she's acting this way.
Huh? Mila's not with you?
She's spending some time with Muse.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
That was quick.
You could say that.
The gang's all here. Let's go see Gaius.
Hold on, everyone. Gaius and the others are taking this fight very seriously. We must make sure we are fully prepared.
Yeah, good point.
And like I said at the end of the last episode, this is kind of a turning point where you want to kind of prepare before you go on further. But first, we have a skit here. The Ears of a Monster. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Listen, Mila, about Ivor.
Why are you whispering?
Because Ivor can hear a pin drop half a mile away.
That's true. When he flew in on that wyvern, he was able to hear everything we said. So what is it?
I wouldn't worry you two. It's the wyverns that have great hearing, not Ivor. They navigate by channeling wind spirits to bring them every noise within miles. They probably just told Ivor what they heard.
Do you really think so?
If your handmaid really had such good ears, don't you think he'd be a little less deaf to subtext?
Oh.
So what about Ivor?
Huh? Oh, I was just going to ask why he's so deaf to subtext when he has such great ears.
Ah, a popular topic apparently.
I love that skit too. It's kind of funny. But we got another one. Flying ships. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Giant lumps of metal soaring through the sky. Kinda terrifying, isn't it?
You think so? I find the idea fascinating.
I'm quite excited myself, riding in a flying ship. It's beyond my wildest dreams.
Ugh. Why are boys so into stuff like this?
I failed to see the appeal myself.
Hey, Muse, do these things ever fall out of the sky?
I don't know, but...
But what?
But I don't really care. If it did, I'd just fly away.
Well, that settles that. I'll be holding on to you.
Oh boy. But like I said before, this is kind of the turning point, and as seen by this sub-quest, finding a local delicacy.
I wonder what people eat in Kanbalar. They've got to have some sort of local delicacy.
Do you think so? It's awfully cold here.
All the more reason to eat well.
So you think they have something good? Let's go find out, Tipo.
Hey, wait up!
It puts an old man's heart at ease to see them enjoying themselves at a time like this.
These kind of subquests are kind of activating right now. Like I said before in the end of the last episode, we need to go and take care of some side quests before we go into Gaius's chamber to go ahead and do that. This right here, Sisterhood, we need to actually activate right now, because this is our another chance to do so. If we come over here, we should be able to activate another one. Yeah, here we go.
Oh crap!
Why did I just remember this now?
What's wrong?
Uh-oh. I've seen that look on your face before. It's Master Sonia, isn't it?
Before I left, Mom asked me to run an errand for her, but I totally spaced.
But that was quite some time ago. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about now.
Snap out of it, Leia! We need to come up with a plan! Remember the Gaius dumplings they have here? Let's send her some!
That's it! We'll distract her with sugar. We'll make it out of this alive yet!
Hey! Jude! Leia!
Do they understand the situation we're in now?
It appeared to be a family matter. It's not our place to interfere.
Oh. You've become quite familiar with humans, haven't you?
I've seen a lot on my journey.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that the great Maxwell is a member of my family.
That's right. You and I are family, aren't we? I once thought about what it would be like to have a family.
And?
It was something I've never felt before. Very different from my duties as Maxwell. Of the feelings I've experienced, the one that comes closest is security. Why do you laugh? What am I to you then?
That's a difficult question. I understand the idea of having a family, but I don't think it's the same as what you're feeling.
That's not what I asked. Besides, didn't you just say that you were proud to have me as family?
Oh, is that what I said?
Unbelievable. I'm beginning to doubt that you truly came here in response to my summons.
All I can say is that there is nothing more important to me than fulfilling Maxwell's orders.
Hey, sorry about that!
We kind of got carried away.
Don't worry about it.
Hmm?
They seem surprised by that.
The most important thing to a spirit is the purpose of its existence, its duty. I believe the same is true for humans. But sometimes for humans, there are things that win out over duty.
Over duty?
Then again, perhaps it's just another kind of duty. The duty to survive.
I see. I didn't really understand any of that, but I'm pleased that you were able to convince yourself.
And that was the second part of the Sisterhood sub-quest. If you guys remember this sub-event, we got this sub-event a long time ago. We got it when we came into Lakudum. We got this by activating the two sisters talking to each other, and they both had a fight. This is the second part of that sub-quest, and we're not going to be finishing it until pretty much in-game at this point. But if you come over here and talk to Wingull, I'm sorry, you'll activate another one.
Relay this to all troops. We believe the enemy base to be an enormous structure. All soldiers should review their indoor combat procedures.
Yes, sir.
I anticipate difficulty getting the word to everyone. Call in all of the relay team reserves.
Yes, sir!
I see you're keeping busy.
Of course. 99% of a battle is won before it starts.
So at this point, the fighting is just a formality.
I leave nothing to chance. That's why I haven't accounted for your group at all. All I expect from you is a distraction. Should you die in the process, my plans will not be disrupted.
What?
Fair enough.
Was that true for Zhao too? Did his death not disrupt your plans?
It was not, and it did. Zhao's strength was a trusted resource, not a destabilizing factor like your own. He was a man who not only bested me, but even challenged Gaius one-on-one.
Oh, were you two friends?
Friends? Ah, this must be how a child sees the world. It doesn't matter what we were. What matters now is that our military strength doesn't waver from his loss.
You certainly don't make your emotions easy to read.
You'd be wise not to waste your energy trying. The time of battle is at hand. Rest while you still can.
And with that, we got that subquest out of the way. Now, at this point, like I said before, do not talk to Gaius, because if you talk to Gaius right now, you'll activate the next sequence you need to go. You kind of want to go back into Kanbalar and kind of look around and see if you can find any sub-events while you're doing this part right now. This is kind of like the preparation before the big fight kind of scenario in any RPGs, if you know what I mean. Pretty much what we need to do is we need to go back into Kanbalar, and we need to come up here and meet with these people. No, not here. I'm sorry. We need to go back into town. We come all the way back into town, and we go to the inn, because that's going to be our kind of our first destination we kind of want to go, because there are, as of right now, 2 sub-events that we can actually do here in the inn. If we come in here, we'll notice that Carla is sitting on this couch right here. This will finish up the History of Azul event. I talked to the little girl, but we need to actually talk to Carla.
Carla, what are you doing here?
Didn't I tell you? I haven't gone back home for quite some time. Hey, Jude, do you have a moment? I'm going to start teaching again soon. Maybe you could help me practice?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Okay, take a seat. All right, class, let's begin our lesson. Today we're going to talk about the history of Kanbalar. Last time we covered Gaius's role in the Battle of Fezabel.
Huh?
Just go with it.
Okay.
Gaius, disenchanted by the inability of the great clans to guide their troops, formed a group called Taurus. It was to be an assembly based purely on merit, unfettered by outdated clan traditions. He believed that those strong in mind and body should be the ones to lead the country. Nothing like it had ever been attempted before.
So it didn't matter what your tribe or position was, only that you were strong.
Correct. And Gaius was determined to remake Azul as a country that no longer sacrificed its weakest citizens. It was after Taurus was formed that he took to calling himself Gaius.
Wait, so it's not actually his real name?
Correct. Gaius is actually an ancient word that means he who pulls the world behind him.
So then what's his real name?
Are you sure you want to know that?
Huh? Is there some reason I shouldn't?
King Gaius hides his real name in order to keep his family out of danger. If you want to know it, you need to be prepared for the consequences.
Wait, that doesn't sound right. After all, you seem to know his real name. If it was that big of a deal, wouldn't you be in danger yourself?
I'm a special case.
Uh-huh. Let's just continue the lesson.
Very well. After Taurus was formed, King Gaius rallied its members against several of the larger tribes. 15 years ago, he vanquished the young but brilliant strategist who led the Longdao tribe and forced him to submit to his leadership.
A brilliant Longdao strategist. Wait, you don't mean...
Yes, it was none other than Wingull who would come to be known as the Ebon Wing of Longdao. With Wingull at his service, Gaius seized control of Kanbalar 5 years later. That was when he declared himself to be king of all the Azul United Territories. This is what would later become known as the Dawn of Azul, which originally came from the tribes referring to Gaius as the Dawn King. He was only 22 years old at the time.
That's not much older than I am. I can't believe he actually united Azul at that age.
Yes, it's impressive. He must be a very strong man.
But don't his friends and family miss him?
Hmm?
Gaius may be so strong that it doesn't bother him, but surely the rest of his family misses him.
Possibly. But I'm sure they understand he has a great burden that takes precedence over everything else. Gaius belongs to the people now, not his family.
I guess.
And after all, it's thanks to him that Azul is now a much nicer place to live. And with that, I must be going. Can't keep my students waiting, you know. Thanks for helping me practice.
Oh, sure. Good luck with your classes.
Thank you.
And with that, that completes the History of Azul side quest. Now, if you didn't do the other requirements that we saw in previous episodes, she wouldn't be here. And this sub-event was very missable. But if you actually come into this room here in the inn, you'll notice there's a guy sitting on the bed right here, and he's got a sub-quest for us. He says, "Ugh, that was horrible. I never thought I'd see a Firetegel come out of the Nala lava tubes. Someone must have injured it, because it was acting extremely aggressive. If we don't take it out now, it could attack Kanbalar. I'm putting together a team to go after it. Will you help us?" Alright, sure, we'll go ahead and do that. Wonderful! I'm grateful for your cooperation. The Firetegel's nest is in the Nala lava tubes, just past the Gilland woods. Be warned, it's a ferocious monster. Underestimate it and the tubes will be your funeral pyre. Now, this sub-event is different based on what you fought in your story. For Jude, you're going to be fighting the Firetegel at the lava tubes. If you're playing as Mila, you will be fighting the Aqua Dragons at the ice cave. So, pretty much, this sub-event is different based on what story you have, but the objective is the same. You just have to go and, you know, fight the other monster, essentially. This kind of gives you an excuse to go back into that part so you can go and collect your Ifrit treasures and all that other stuff. This kind of gives you an excuse to go look for the Ifrit treasures there. So that's actually one thing I really like that they did. I'm going to go ahead and pretty much cut to when we actually get back to the lava caves. But actually, I just realized, it's like, yeah, I can probably do that. But you also cannot fast travel anywhere else except near Kanbalar at this point. I forgot to mention that. You cannot fast travel anywhere outside of Kanbalar. So only little areas that you can do that. But here in Gilland Woods, we're going to go over to the Nala lava tubes. If you remember, they're right across the way from Gilland Woods. Now, you're probably seeing this guy. This guy is Giant Horse, and he's got a sword stuck in his head. This is a Devil's Beast. Do not fight this thing. This thing is too strong for you. We're not going to be fighting that because that's one of the super bosses of this game. We're going to be fighting those much later in the LP. Don't worry about it for right now. But the thing is about the Devil's Beasts, they go extremely slow. They don't like charge at you like the other monsters. If they notice you, they'll just trot over to you. So you can basically avoid that. They did that knowingly because they knew people would run into it. My first playthrough, I ran into that thing because I thought it was an actual, you know, monster. I didn't really see the gigantic sword sticking out of his, you know, his nose and such. But anyways, we're here in the Nala lava tubes. What I'm going to do, since we already were here, I'm going to be cutting to when we actually get to...
Here. How long has it been since I've had one of Mom's home
I'm going to
cooked
actually
meals?
cut to when we get to certain events, like either getting to the Ifrit treasures here or getting to the objective itself, like going to see where the Firetegel is. Because we've already been here, I've already kind of showed it off. I just want to give like a quick look at the Ifrit treasures and such if you haven't seen so yourself. If you're just watching this episode and you didn't watch 2 episodes ago, I'm going to be kind of showing where the Ifrit treasure is, again, just in case you missed it. Like I said, if you're playing as Mila, you would be going into the ice caverns instead. So, here's the Firetegel, and as you guys can see, this is footage right here. If you're in the ice caverns, you'd be fighting the Aqua Dragons instead. So, that's pretty much that in a nutshell. I kind of wanted to show this off because this is kind of, the same thing, but it's not really. That's one thing I really like about this sub-event. It's different between what stories you're actually doing. The Firetegel and the Aqua Dragons are going to be at the same level you fought them the first time. They're going to be, you know, level 40 and all that other stuff. So they're really not going to be that difficult unless you're like not well prepared for it. So like for the Firetegel, you just simply have the water weapon, the deluge fists, and all that other stuff if you're playing as Jude, or water, you know, a water attack and whatnot. It's really not that hard of a fight. It's just be mindful. But other than that, after you kill this thing, you should be able to finish the side quest, and you can go back to that old man, and you can reclaim your prize and stuff like that. But as you guys can see, it's really not too different. Like I said before, this is actually one of my favorite side quests because it is different between the stories. most of the side quests we see in this game are the same in all the other stories. There's like very few side quests that are different between the stories. Like, I know that Mila has a couple of side quests that are just, you know, for her. She has like a grand total of 3 that are only for her. And Jude has like a grand total of like 4 or 5 that are just, you know, exclusive to his. But this is the only side quest in the entire game where it's the same objective, but it's different for each story. But there we go. We've defeated the Firetegel and Aqua Dragons if you're playing as Mila. So pretty much we're going to be continuing onward. Well, that's what I normally do whenever I play this game. I go and try and find all the Eye-Freeze treasures. The first Eye-Freeze treasure is right here, and the lava tubes right here. So if you remember where we got last 2 episodes ago, this is where it's at. I just kind of want to remind you guys. This is kind of just like a quick reminder and stuff. Now the other Eye-Freeze treasure is right here in the lava tubes. I kind of showed off just in case, like a free, like, look it over real quick. And inside is the wall of soul, and gives Mila the energy barrier skill. Now, whenever we leave, we go to the Xillia tundra. We come over here and look over on this rock over here, right outside the lava tubes, right here. There's going to be an Eye-Freeze treasure here. So this kind of gives you an excuse to come to this area too, if you're, you know, playing as Jude, or if you're playing as Mila, you'd be going over there. And we got the title Pirate King. At this point, you'd be getting a trophy. This is the main trophy for finding all the Eye-Freeze treasure. You have to find a grand total of 50. 50 Eye-Freeze treasures in the entire game in order to get that title. And that title will give you a trophy. There's a grand total of like 61 in the entire game, but they only require you to find 50 of them. But here's the other Eye-Freeze treasure. Keep rambling on. It's right next to that tree. But we're actually going to cut back to Kanbalar, so I kind of did everything. Kind of wanted to re-equip everything, because this is the kind of the point in the game where you kind of want to look at your equipment. This is the kind of the time whenever you kind of need to start equipping and all your other stuff. Because the main thing about this is we're going into a really lengthy dungeon right now, and this is kind of a point of no return for a little bit. So you kind of want to prepare for this. So that's pretty much this is the time where you need to go to your shop and you need to start donating your materials to level up your shop and start buying equipment and stuff like that in order to equip your characters and stuff like that. Now, if you have extra goods that you don't need anymore, sell that stuff. That's really the best thing you could do, unless they're accessories. I always keep my accessories because I don't know what the situation is, and I always want to keep them around just in case I run into said situation, like if I need to, you know, protect myself against a certain element. But that's pretty much that in a nutshell. We've done everything that we can pretty much do here. The last thing we have to do is we have to go and turn in this sub-event here over at the inn. I almost kind of make a mistake here. I was like, wait a second, we haven't done that yet. I was like, no, turn right back around. I did not go back to the end. I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to go to the end. I have to go turn in my sub-event real quick. But that's pretty much it for, you know, side stuff that we have to do. It's not much, but you kind of want to make sure that you have all this stuff done before you leave, because after this, we're going to a big dungeon, and after that, Chapter 3 ends. So be mindful of that, because there are a bunch of side quests that go away after Chapter 3. So, History of Azul is one of them. They says, you did it! And not a single one of you getting killed. Quite an accomplishment. I'm glad the crisis was resolved, but I still can't forgive the idiots who caused this mess. What sort of lunatic goes around picking fights with incredibly powerful monsters like that? I think he was trying to insinuate that Mila was an idiot. Because if you guys can recall, we picked a fight with the Firetegel 2 episodes ago. Because, well, we needed to go through the lava tubes, and, well, there he was blocking our way. So he's kind of insinuating that we are, in fact, the idiots. Now, it'd be the same text if it was you were playing as Mila's story. He said, who would go pick in a fight with an Aqua Dragons? They're terrible monsters. They're really agitated. And stuff like that. But that's alright. But the last thing I want to do before the end of the episode is I have a couple level ups. I'm actually kind of quite leveled up right now. We're like in the mid-40s, and you should be in the mid-40s at this point. By the time you go after the next episode, you're going to be late 40s. The dungeon's really that long. The dungeon is really long and strenuous, so you'll be getting a lot of level ups. Just be mindful that this is kind of the time you want to kind of activate your levels too, if you haven't done so already. If you're not on top of it like I am all the time, you might want to activate your stuff. I always just, you know, activate my Lilium Orbs whenever I can, but this Let's Play, I usually just keep this, the segment of leveling up all at once, at one time. Sometimes it really kicks you in the butt after a while. And also manage your skills too if you haven't done so already. But that's pretty much it. But in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, while I'm here putting on my skills and all this other stuff, the next episode what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking to Gaius, and then we're going to be making our grand assault on Gilland's ship. His ship is called the ESS Zenithra. That is the name of the vessel that Gilland is actually staying on. And we're going to go in there and we're going to put a stop to his evil deeds. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. See you guys later.